What's up, everybody? Secret Sauce is back. We're making Ecuadorian ceviche. If you're used to ceviche, let's say that's more Mexican style. This is not that whatsoever. Peruvian style, it's not that whatsoever. This is different, and I'm really excited to share this with you guys. We're cooking the shrimp. Put the shrimp in a bowl. 1, 2, 6, 7, 10, 11. Oh, there are no heads on these. It's really hard to find shrimp with the head in American stores. So what I do to cheat is I put some hot water in this. So the reason I do this is because we're gonna be boiling the shrimp. It's so much easier to take off the shell when the shrimp is not boiling hot. So this is how I cheat it. So I start the shrimp first in some hot water, and then I start doing other things, and then by the time I'm midway through, I can go over there, and then the shell pops off super easily. What does my shirt say? I'm glad you asked. It says, I have what I gave, and you can also have one of these shirts if you order it from my website, sashagray.com. Onions. My eyes! I increased the thickness a little because this onion is so juicy. Oh my god. So once you have all of your onion sliced up, take your limes. I don't really follow quantities, but I guess an important note is to make sure that the lime juice is covering the onions. It doesn't need to be like completely submerged. So I'm just doing this with water. I boil the shrimps in water, and we're gonna use the shrimp water afterwards, so it's full of flavor. All right, so mix that salt up. This is already changing color. I love it. And then you just let this rest. Since ceviche is served cold, I actually like to put this in the fridge just to chill it up a little bit quicker. So get some crushed or chopped tomatoes. Sometimes I find these tomatoes, they're cherry tomatoes in a can. If you can find those, as long as they don't have any extra stuff added, like no extra salt or herbs or any of that crap. Cherry tomatoes in a can, oh my goodness. If you could find those, use them. I use like 2 recipes that I work off of, and they say to drain the liquid, so you're just keeping the chopped tomatoes. I don't throw the liquid out, I want to keep it. So this is more than we need. I'm kind of just estimating here. So about a cup and a half, 8 to 12 ounces. Strain that, but don't throw the liquid away. Use it for something else. I feel like that's good enough. It doesn't need to be dry. And even though the recipes I always say to use canned tomatoes, I still always like to throw in a few fresh cherry tomatoes. Or if you could find Roma tomatoes that are still really red inside, then do it. You can totally skip this step. I just kind of like the combined flavor of it all. So yeah, it's not completely necessary to add fresh tomatoes, but I do like the flavor and I do like the texture. Okay, add those in. I'm gonna put this in the fridge while we're doing everything else. Cilantro, lots of it. I just rough chop it. I don't worry about the stems until I get to them. Frank cilantro. And I still like to see the leaves. I don't like to I don't want it too chopped up, you know what I mean? Just make sure it's like in bite-sized pieces, that there's no clumps. I'm not gonna put all of it in yet because I like to see how much is needed. I'll mix that in. Now that this has been soaking, these shells come off right away. I've been boiling my pot of water, and look, squeeze the tail so you get the tail meat too. Slides right off. Left a little in there. The next one will be better, I swear. So I do this because it is way easier to do this when the shrimp is not coming out of a pot of boiling water. Then you have to wait for it to cool down, peel it off. It's annoying. Boom, done. And I'm not keeping this water also because this is sink water. Okay, now we can put the fire back on high and throw your shrimp in. a little salt. That's my shrimp hack. That's my shrimp hack. Take the shells off before you boil them. And I also want to give a special little shout out and thank you to my Patreon community. I will link that below if you want to check out more content there. Check it out. Now it's gonna get weird. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking, okay? I thought it was weird too. Trust me. Oranges, because we need the orange juice. Now, I'm gonna start, because I know I'm gonna at least need at least one of these oranges, right? So I'll start with one and then save the second one. Last time I had to add more. So this ceviche is also a little bit different for me because there's a lot of liquid. It's very soupy. So that's the other thing. The first time I made it, I was freaking out because I was like, this seems like way, 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 way too much liquid. But once you serve it and once you eat it, it all makes sense. At least one lime. Now, actually, that had a lot of juice, dude. Okay, I'm gonna do half a lime for now because don't forget our onions also have lime. See, it's looking good. You need around 1/3 cup of ketchup, but you know, I'm just gonna, trust me, I know this looks weird, you guys. I can eyeball this. It's gonna be delicious. That looks good. But because we put in ketchup, adding more salt. Taking the shrimp out, but I'm not dumping the water out. So I'm just doing it with a spoon, slotted spoon, to separate it from the water. And I'm gonna put this in the freezer. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with the broth. Ooh, microwave trying to kill me. Oh, come on. I just cleaned this, man. Okay, freezer. So we're still letting this stuff cool off. Now, Ecuadorian ceviche is typically served with plantain chips, and they're not sweet plantain chips. You have to make sure you get the correct kind, not sweet plantain chips, all right? It doesn't work. So I have some of those. We're not gonna make those homemade. I got some from the store. But you can also serve it with popcorn. Popcorn. Yep, the flavor freaking works and it's delicious. So while we let that stuff still cool down, we're gonna make some popcorn. Let's see what's going on. I don't know. I took those out because I thought I was gonna move it to here, but I changed my mind. Be careful because sometimes they pop back out you. Yeah, I was done. Add more salt. Whoops. The best. All right, the moment of truth, you guys. Our shrimp are starting to feel cold. Our broth is not warm, but it's not cold. But this is where it gets exciting. Shrimp. And now, all the beautiful juices. This is the shrimp broth. I told you guys this was soupy, right? I wasn't joking. And then our onions, which have been sitting in this delicious lime juice. Don't waste that juice. Put it in the bowl. All right. I do it little by little. I just eyeball it, you know? I see how it's looking, what I want more of. Oh my God, my mouth is watering. This looks so good. This looks so freaking good. All of the lime juice now. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Dude, this is so freaking good. Oh man. And your liquid, man. Don't forget your liquid. This is, again, a soupy ceviche, okay? Don't be afraid. Last but not least, you can absolutely add avocado, which I'm gonna do. And if you add jalapeno or spicy pepper, just make sure it's thin sliced so it's a similar texture to everything else. Oh, this is it. I think this is it. What you do is take your plantain chips. You can just throw them in there. Throw a couple in there. Make it a few. You can, like, you know, scoop up a spoonful. And then you have the plantain chip in there. It starts to soak up the juice, but you still got that crunch. Oh man. So good. Plantain chip. Delicious. It's so good. Then you can just throw some popcorn in too. It's so delicious. I like both. So good. These are like the best flavors on earth. One of these days, I have to make the chifles myself though. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you try this recipe out. It's very simple and it's so delicious. And please, because it is so simple, look for the best ingredients you can find. It's super important to get the freshest quality possible. Let me know in the comments below. Do you like to eat your ceviche with popcorn or chifles? Or both? Why not both? Like me. I hope you guys like it. I truly do. And I really hope you guys try this recipe out. If you do, you should post your photos on my Discord and maybe I'll share them, or tag me on Instagram, okay?